Hi everyone, this is the Paradox Engine. Today, we'll be talking about the 5 cards we've been looking into the most in the channel from the Lost Cavern of Ixalan. At number 5, we have Sahil, the Sun's Brilliance. Sahil reads, for 1 and a blue, it's a 2/2 human artificer. Legendary creatures, it can be your commander. You play blue and a red, and you tap it, and you create a token that's a copy of another target creature or artifact you control, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. It gains haste, and you sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. If you remember the old days of Standard, where Sahili, Rai, and Fellow Guardian were in the format, it was a very similar, very similar combo, where you minus Sahili the Planeswalker into Fellow Guardian. Fellow Guardian bounced Sahili, and you created a new Fellow Guardian, and then you went infinite from there. It was a cool combo. So, this Sahili's ability, wish it was that, but we can see a lot of combo potential with it. The most important combo we see with Sahili is the combo with Intruder Alarm, which reads, creatures don't untap during their controller's untap step. Whenever a creature comes into play, untap all creatures. It's for 2 and a blue. So, as far as our research goes, this just gives us infinite mana the creatures can produce, infinite ETBs, infinite creature tokens with haste, infinite untap creatures, and infinite copies of all other creatures with haste. So you can pretty much win on the spot as long as you have both Sahili and Intruder Alarm on the field, and Sahili doesn't have Summoning Sickness. And you have to have creatures that can tap for blue and a red. And so it's a lot to do, to be honest. But as soon as you do that, activate any number of creatures by tapping them, creating at the very least, a blue and a red. And then you pay that to tap Sahili, and you create a token of a creature that's creating the mana. And then you untap all those creatures, and then you just continue doing that, and you basically create infinite possibilities for tap on tap, tap on tap, tap on tap, producing infinite mana, essentially. When you do this, you can end up with any combination of blue and red, plus whatever colorless mana you need, essentially making you be able to cast your entire deck if you want to. You just need a way to draw your cards and get a lot of those juicy ETB effects. We can see a lot of potential in this card. We do think it might see some play here and there. I don't know how good it's going to be in CEDH, but honestly, this seems like a really good, fun, casual commander to play against, and I am looking forward into seeing it more. I'm going to try and see if I can brew a deck for it. For number 4, we have Ojurtok, the Deepest Foundation. It reads, for 4 and 2 whites, it has Vigilance. It's a god, and it's a 6/6. And it reads, if 1 or more creature tokens would be created under your control, 3 times that amount of tokens are created instead. And when Ojurtok dies, return it to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. As its transformed card, it's a land called Temple of Civilization. You tap it, it adds white. If you pay 2 and tap it, you transform Temple of Civilization, and you return it to its normal face up, So the only real way of getting rid of this is through exile effects. Because if it dies, you just transform into a land, you cash it back. It's pretty good. We actually think it might have a lot of uses. It will definitely see a lot of uses in Casual Commander. Mondrak is very famous in Casual Commander. Anointed Procession is very famous in Casual Commanders. We can see Helm of the Host being very powerful with it. Honestly, it could see a lot of play in token-based strategies, in decks that really want to go wide with tokens, and just want to go ham with creating as many ETB effects and stuff like that. If you're playing red, we can see it paired up with Impact Tremors. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. No, to target opponent, I think. Either or. It doesn't matter. At this point, you just want to burn your opponent. If you're comboing off with red, you can make it with a lot of other green effects with Populate, Doubling Seasons, Parallel Lives, all those juicy enchantments that just go off whenever you create tokens. And honestly, I can see a lot of potential with this card in Casual Commander, and I wish to see it being played in CEDH, because it seems like a lot of fun, especially since it's also land, essentially. And at number 3, we have Galta, the new Galta. That Galta seems insane, the Stampede Tyrant. It reads, for 5 green, 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 Elder Dinosaur, and it's a 12/12. Galta, if I ever see a Galta that's not a 12/12, I'm going to be very surprised and spooked at. It's just, I think that's the most defining characteristic for Galta, and we just love to see it. So, it reads, Trample. When Galta Stampede Tyrant enters the battlefield, put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. So, I don't know if it's going to be played as a commander, but I can see it being played into 99, and with a, Cloudstone Curio kind of combination. We could see with Sakashima, maybe Spark Double, Glasspool Mimic, any of the Mimic cards, really. Mirror Gallery. We can see it being played with Ashnod's Altar, and, Kadric, the Soul Kindler. We can see it, honestly, a Thermopod deck. We can see it being played as an Infinite Bounds, with Dockside 2 in red and white, and just create infinite mana. Infinite death triggers, infinite sacrifice triggers. Honestly, it can be a lot. We can also play with Burning Tree Emissary, creating infinite green mana. It honestly could be a lot of good value for the card. I can see a lot of really good disposition for the card as a 99 and not as a commander. We might see different versions being ran as the commander, and I really do hope it just goes wild. It still has Cloudstone Curio in there, and I do believe it just can go wild very easily as long as you have the mana for it. For number 2, we have the Micro Tyrant. So, I've been looking to this card a lot, because I do want to say it's a dredge card at heart. It doesn't have dredge, it doesn't have delirium, it doesn't have any keyword that we would love to see on it. It does have descend. So, at the beginning of your end step, you create X1 black fungus creature tokens with this creature can't block. But it says where X is the number of times you descend this turn. So if we pair it up with Dredge, we pair it up with a lot of heavy mill effects and stuff like that, we might actually see a really cool Dredge commander that doesn't feature Dredge as the mechanic, but it can also activate Delirium. It could also activate a lot of really reanimator type strategies in Golgari, that is just, in my opinion, it sounds very good. You also get the funguses that you can sacrifice for Phyrexian Altar. You can sacrifice it to other spells that you have to sacrifice creatures to gain value off of, Deadly Dispute, the sacrifice a creature, kill this creature, Planeswalker, X target creature, All those cards seem very good with this deck, because it combines very well with its Descend style of play, which I think honestly might pretty much see a lot of play, because it does seem very fun. It's also an Elder Fungus, so you can build a Fungus Kindred deck in some sort, but I don't know how far you get with that. I think the most effective way of playing it would be with Delirium, and just auto-mill, self-mill. It could be a 99 Muldrotha for you Muldrotha players out there. Honestly, it seems like a really good card, and I highly recommend checking it out. As for number 1, we have Shamil, the Inner Sun. It reads, for 6 colorless mana, it's a legendary artifact, and it says, spells you control can't be countered. At the beginning of your end step, discover 5. I don't care about the discover 5 that much, but I've heard that just makes the game so much better and so much easier to play, because you just, at the end step, you discover 5, which means you exile the top X cards of your library until you hit an unland card with converted mana value 5 or less, and then you cast it for free. In any color, you can hit this, and it's just so good. You can get your Docksides, you can get your Smothering Tides, you can get Ashnod's Altar, Phyrexian Altar, you can get your combo pieces out there for free, or you can get the One Ring, you can get Bowmasters for whatever reason you want it in to enter this way, instead of being a reply to, something bigger. But, it is a very good card. The fact that it sprinkles in spells you control can't be countered, meaning you just kind of win the game right out of the bat if you try to pop off. Unless they remove Shamil, which you can just give it hexproof with a couple of other cards, or you can just cycle something away that can give any permanent indestructible. I don't know. Karn would be great with this card. The Great Creator. There's so many little things that this card really does pop off with that it just seems insane, and we want to see it played a lot more because I think it has a lot of potential. Like, absolutely a lot of potential. But yeah, this has been the top 5 cards that we are mostly interested in the set for Lost Caverns of Ixalan. If you have any other opinions, or if you know of any other ways to break these cards, please leave it down in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and do all the fancy YouTube stuff. But yeah, let us know what you think about these 5 cards, or if you have other cards that you're very interested in. Please let us know in the comments below, and we'll catch you all later.